in addition to being a Princeton graduate, you are a drummer, a percussionist.
I am, always have been. Yeah.
And one of your clients was Dreyfuss Records for many years, and through that you worked closely with Roy Haynes. Uh, Talk a little bit about Roy and having a client who was also a drummer. Did you learn anything percussion-wise from Roy?
Yeah, I learned that attitude and intensity. I was once down in the village at a J&R festival, and Louis Nash had just finished playing with Joe Lovano. Louis Nash is one of my favorite drummers. He's a wonderful drummer, and he had just played a fantastic set, great solos, and interplay with Joe. And I said to boy, Louis, the intensity was just amazing. And just at that point, Roy, who was playing later on in the concert, comes walking by, and Louis says, "That's intensity," he said. Yes, musicians are. I once asked Russell Malone what it's like to play with Roy or Ron Carter or Benny Golson or somebody like that. He said, "You just assume that they are going to do the right thing, and you learn and follow from that." Well, Roy is he's a good guy, and I have a good relationship with him. He's an in-your-face kind of guy. He'll always kind of, he's the old school guy, so he's gone through a lot of what he thinks is being mistreated by the business. So he's always a little suspicious of you, even me, and he knows I'm a drummer, and he kind of, he thinks it's cute. He's actually heard me play. He says, "Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good." But I'm good, and Roy's great, But so I've learned intensity. I've learned style. The way Roy plays is not the way anybody else plays, and it really is, in his way, a genius. That what he does, even today, when he is failing in some ways, still can play, and people still can admire what he is doing. So yes, from a drummer's point of view, I have learned style and intensity, which is really concentration. I mean, you see Roy play, and he plays a long tune live, and he will literally bounce up out of the drum seat when the tune is over. Yes, still has so much energy flowing that he can't even sit down on his seat. So yes, you learn things like that, which you remember and which you apply to other things too. This is far afield, but I'm reading a book called The 50s by David Halberstam, about everything that happened in the 50s, from the Korean War to the atomic bomb to the creation of the supermarket and the Holiday Inn and E.J. Corvette's, which was a department store in Brooklyn, and Levittown, William Levitt creating this housing enterprise with 1,000 houses in Long Island. All of these people shared one thing in common: tremendous intensity and energy involved what they do. They lived it 24 hours a day. Levitt, when he was building so many houses on such a tight deadline, decided he could not rely on suppliers for materials because they might be late in delivery. So he bought machines that made nails, and he bought scrap metal, and he made his own nails, and he bought an area of a forest, and he made his own plywood. So this intensity, this concentration, this energy is what really creates a genius. Somebody said talent does what it can, genius does what it must. So whether it's in playing the drums or in inventing the transistor or the computer chip, or in throwing a baseball. the intensity is what sets apart the uncommon from the common.